It wouldn't be the offseason if we didn't get news about the Colorado Buffaloes, in a bombshell article just dropped detailing Coach Prime and his chaotic culture in Boulder. So in today's video, I'm going to react live to the allegations against Deion Sanders and Colorado, and I'm going to discuss how it could possibly relate to Nebraska in their game in early September. So really quick, we have a big video for you today. Make sure to hit that like button if you're fired up. And hey, if you're new to the channel or even a Colorado Buffalo fan, make sure to subscribe. I post a video about Nebraska football every single day. So if you want to stay in tune with this program, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. But without further ado, let's get into it. Looking over Deion Sanders and some of the accusations that have come out over the last couple of days regarding his program. So Athlon just released an article the other day titled "Deion Sanders' Chaotic Culture Turned into Locker Room Violence in Colorado." So let's go to the first part of this article, and it talks about Deion Sanders and how when he was getting over to Boulder for the first time, he was bringing his Louis luggage, that he was basically going to force players out, bring his own guys with him, and that they're going to be in the mix to compete right away. Now, it goes on to say that Deion Sanders wants ready-made players. He doesn't want to have a rebuild. He doesn't want to, build a team up. Rather, he just wants to achieve success right now and honestly get out of the program. Now, he's reiterated a couple times that he's not going to leave Colorado when Shilo Sanders and Shedeur Sanders leave this fall, but that could be the case. But let's just dive into some of the accusations here. So right here, it says some players aren't suited for prime time, or at least that's what the CU staff wants everyone to believe. But conversations with those who left Boulder reveals the true nature of the culture within the Buffaloes program. A few former players have spoken anonymously to Athlon, fearing retaliation if they went on the record. "It's like a real-life Grand Theft Auto game," one former player said. "There are many distractions with fights, guns, and money floating around. The environment is unlike anything I've come from before." Wow. I mean, that speaks for itself right there around Colorado. And I go back to when Oregon was about to play the Buffaloes and Dan Lanning said in the pregame speech, they're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. He couldn't have put it anywhere better. I mean, that is exactly what Deion's all about. He's fighting for attention. He's fighting for relevancy. He's fighting to get attention on social media, right? To be the illustrious Coach Prime. But he's not actually about building a real culture and building a real program. So interesting little note there from a former player, but it gets even worse here. Talking about some of the fights, there's been a lot of violence according to this article, specifically on the Cormani McClain situation. So Cormani McClain was a five-star corner who always wanted to play under Deion. He went there for 1 year and then transferred out this spring. A lot of Buffalo fans have been going after him on social media, honestly attacking him. And there was some light shed of that in this article, that Cormani was taking a lot of heat from everybody, that Coach Prime was saying he was in the doghouse, again, facilitating a poor culture here. And then here's the big one. Shilo Sanders slapped Cormani McClain multiple times after the game was over. Wow. Again, it just goes back to a poor culture. And listen, I am not a Coach Prime hater. I really am not. I am a Colorado Buffalo hater, right? Because I'm a Nebraska fan. I honestly think Coach Prime, if he were a good coach and had a good culture, it would be great for college football. It would be great because he has a great personality. I think, honestly, he's not that bad off the field, but it's clear as day that he's not facilitating a good football program right now. And honestly, you can see it right here with the violence, with the stuff off the field. And again, it gets worse here. Colorado got a five-star tackle by the name of Jordan Seaton, and he said that he was bullied earlier this spring to basically prove his manhood, and he had to fight with another offensive lineman on the team. Again, it's just all this stuff that you hear about their poor culture, that they're fighting for attention. Again, it's all made up. When you see Deion Sanders and him on social media and him trying to facilitate this no-nonsense, program, it's all bullcrap, because this is the kind of stuff that happens behind the scenes that he doesn't care about. And it was interesting because Deion Sanders, there was a video that came out the other day where he said that to the cornerbacks on the Buffaloes, don't touch Travis Hunter. He said, don't touch Travis Hunter in practice. He said, I'm not playing favorites, but it's just the way it is. Are you kidding me? Listen, Travis Hunter is a darn good player. Don't get me wrong, but you're actively telling your cornerbacks to not try against him because he's probably going to go to the NFL this year. That's just facilitating a terrible culture. You are picking favorites. There's been stuff that's come out that Deion Sanders doesn't even know the players' names besides his sons and Travis and a couple others. So it's very interesting stuff here. But getting back to the article, there's a gun problem. There was a guy who got arrested for threatening a female because of a gun. There was a guy who committed to Colorado and was flashing a gun on Instagram Live. There was, again, more bullying here. It says that there was a gambling debt between quarterback Colton Allen and wide receiver Kayla Mantis, and that they got in a fight after one of them refused to pay up. So, look at this article. There's so much going on here, and that's what you'd expect from a program that's led by lies. And once again, I'm going to reiterate this because Colorado fans will come in here and they'll say, I don't like Deion Sanders. I love Deion Sanders. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he has a lot of spunk. I really liked watching him at Jacksonville State. And it's just purely a Colorado thing, and purely that, honestly, actions speak louder than words. Prime can talk the talk, but unfortunately he can't walk the walk, and it's clear as day here. And we're at that point where I truly believe when Shedeur Sanders leaves for the NFL and Shilo leaves after this year, Deion's on the way out, no matter what. Even if they have a winning season, why would he stick around? Because he's not a team builder. That's not what he does. He doesn't build teams up. He honestly just wants ready-made players from the portal. He doesn't like high school recruiting. His whole slogan is, guys, come to me, rather than for me to actually recruit you. He doesn't visit people in their houses. He doesn't meet parents. It's just all fake. His culture is all fake, and it's crazy that we've gotten to this point here. And this is something I've said in the past, that when Deion Sanders inevitably leaves Colorado, there's going to be so much that comes out about his tenure that is awful, and he's going to leave Colorado in a worse place than where he took over. And we should remember, he took over a 1-11 team. Just imagine how bad it's going to be when he leaves, because every single player right now for the Buffaloes, they're also going to leave because they didn't commit to Colorado. They committed to play for Coach Deion, and he's not bringing them anywhere fast. So the article ends with saying the turmoil within the Colorado Buffaloes locker room underscores the challenges of Coach Prime's leadership style. While the desire for instant success is understandable, the associated instability and violence reveals deeper issues within the program. As the season progresses, it remains to be seen how these internal conflicts will impact the Buffaloes on the field. Here's my prediction. If Colorado starts the year off rocky, right? You lose that game to Nebraska. Maybe you even lose week 1 against a good North Dakota State team. The same thing's going to happen like it did last year, where you crumble. Colorado's a talented team. Don't get me wrong. And they should have won a lot of those games in the back half of their schedule. You want to know why they lost? Because their culture crumbled. Because players didn't believe. Because players were going up against each other, fighting each other, like this was all mentioned. That's on Deion. And I could speak about this because I've seen it happen with Nebraska. The same thing happened with Scott Frost. Okay, not this badly, but when Nebraska started losing a couple games in a row, nobody in that locker room believed. And sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, you have a 0% chance to win. So that's what's happening with Coach Prime. They're in for a bad year, man. They're in for a really bad year. You better hope you start hot, or else it's over. So, all right, guys, let me know down below. What do you think about this Coach Prime situation? How do you think it relates to Nebraska? Hey, if you're a Colorado Buffalo fan, it is what it is, man. I wish you guys the best of luck. See you in Lincoln. That one's going to be a crazy one. All right, guys, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.